Hey guys, welcome back. A lot of you recently have been asking me how many RCs I have in my collection and how I'm able to buy all of them. Now, yes, I've been buying a lot of them, and it seems like every week I am either unboxing or talking about a review of a brand new or sometimes used RC that I was able to pick up. And this week, guess what? It's no exception. Actually, we're not going to be talking about this brand new, by new I mean extremely cheap used REDCAT Rampage right here. I will get to this in the future, but yes, this is my newest fit scale acquisition. What I thought would be an interesting topic, not something many YouTubers really ever talk about, is the selling side of RC. Years ago, I used to be a very successful car salesman. The term car salesman in itself generally is relatively negative. But I'll tell you this, there's a lot of principles from business, finance, marketing, and sales overall that you could apply to getting yourself the most amount of fun for the least amount of money. Now, sometimes you guys think that I'm sponsored by somebody, but guys, think about it. A lot of the stuff I buy is used. Why would anybody sponsor me to buy a used REDCAT Rampage? It literally just makes no sense. And then on the other hand, I've also bought new ones like this, which are WL toys, but almost always I have a lot of bad things to say about them. So once again, I am not sponsored. All this stuff I've bought with my own money because I just like it. Eventually, I do wind up selling it. Now, I may not be the doctor of thugonomics, John Cena.
So, you think you're untouchable?
Word life.
Since I am the RC gentleman and I wear a polo shirt with a collar right over here, I thought this would be a great opportunity to discuss some of the principles I use to sell RCs. Now, recently I did have to let go of one of my favorites, a Traxxas Stampede 4x4 VXL. Let me show you guys some picture here. This is my actual RC from eBay. It sold for $275 plus $22 shipping. I think that is a very fair price. If you look up the current listings for the Stampede VXL 4x4 with similar equipment I would consider minor upgrades, you will see that they sell for probably in the low 300s. The only negative on my auction is I did not include lipos, but that's just because I don't really have any good lipos at this point. I've gone to basically all nitro or gas. So what did I do to maintain value and not lose any money? I'll tell you right now, I only paid $190 for the Stampede when I bought it a couple of years ago, and I did really minimal amount of work on it, mostly in the appearance department. What did I do to really bring up the value? There's the 4 P's, one of the basic fundamental principles you learn in marketing. The first P is the product. You gotta make sure that the product is in tip-top shape. Now, if you look at the pictures I put over here, they are very good. The truck is clean. It doesn't look like anything is missing. The body is on. There's a good amount of pictures with the body on and off, different angles. You could literally see the remote is included in the picture. You could see even the little LED is on the remote. Therefore, it works. So you gotta make sure the product, number one, sells itself. You don't want a dud because yes, that will drive your price down. No matter how much mentally and emotionally involved you are with the product, trust me, there's always something else to the buyer. That is one of the principles I always use to not even overpay to begin with. The second P and the 4 P's of marketing is price. Price is key. The reason is, yes, there's a lot of competition. Guess what? Your RC is not the only one being listed on eBay or any other website for sale right now. You want to be competitive and you want to charge a fair price. Now, I started my auction at $265 plus $22 shipping, which I think is fair. That is substantially less than the brand new Stampede of this spec. If you research prices of the competition and even the sold listings, that will give you a very good idea of how to price your RC. You don't want to piss people off. For me, I like typical auctions with normal prices. If you want to do a reserve, I won't bid on those auctions either, guys, because you never know what the reserve is. Usually, the people have some kind of fantasy ideas in their brain of how expensive their car actually is. And guys, just stick to basic auctions. Set a price where you're comfortable selling it and not too high out of the range. Okay, guys, let's take a short break, go to the field, do some RC, and come back for some more information. Alright guys, I'm gonna do something I've never done before. We're gonna walk over this e-Revo. It has this really cool metal roll cage. Let's see how much weight it could take. Looks good to me. Look at that. No dents at all. Third P is place. Now, this is going to be kind of a limiting factor here. You only really have a couple locations you could sell RCs or really anything at. And that is generally going to be eBay, maybe Craigslist, and maybe some other third-party app like LetGo. I actually got this right here from LetGo. I'm very happy. It's a pretty good app. You could install it on your phone. And it really lets you kind of talk and negotiate with the seller or the buyer, whatever you want to do at that time, meet up, and then you're good to go. There's no commission, unlike eBay. The only negative is, of course, you're limited in a number of listings because your local market is, yes, basically limited to as far as you want to drive. Unlike eBay, it's limited to as far as they're willing to ship, which is generally the continental United States. The fourth P is promotion. Now, in this particular case, I gotta say promotion is kind of similar to price. Since this is a lot of used stuff right here, you're not really gonna have promotions unless there's an eBay coupon. I have been known to use eBay coupons. I actually used a 10% coupon on this Rovan buggy right here, and I saved about 50 bucks. There really are a lot of factors that can influence price, and for me, what I've noticed to be the most relevant is the brand and type of RC. Now, if you look at something like this, yes, you could have a whole bunch of fun. This is about $70 ready to run. They're very fast. This one's actually upgraded to a full 10-scale brushless system. But if you were to sell something like this on eBay, you're not gonna get much money for it. Not only because, you know, they're cheap, new, but really people that wanna buy these will generally buy them new. There's really no point in buying this as a used RC unless you're really buying a destroy one for parts for maybe $15 to $20. In terms of something like these, which are fit scale gas RCs, they are very price inelastic. What that means is they really do not fluctuate that much, but guys, you gotta keep in mind they have to be in very good condition. Now, I recently checked some eBay listings and there's people selling buggies like this for literally close to asking price. It is just insane. So how do you buy cheap? Now, I don't want to say you should be ripping people off, offering ridiculous amounts of money, but you should buy cheap to make sure that you have some kind of cushion there just in case there's something wrong with the RC. That is really what you want to do, just like, you know, in that movie Trading Places when they were buying pork bellies. For me, pork bellies are a commodity just like RCs. You want to buy cheap to make sure that you maintain your investment in the RC and eventually you sell it for at least what you paid for it. I gotta be honest with you, I've almost never sold an RC for less than I paid for it. I've almost always broken even or maybe made maybe 20 to 30% on top. Now, keep in mind they were in tip-top shape. You do want to disclose everything in your listing. Make sure you're fair and honest about everything because the eBay buyer protection program is really, really good, guys. If something is not as described, the buyer could literally just ask for a refund and you'll probably have no choice. You'll have to even pay shipping so they can return the product to you sometimes. So make sure that you're fair with all of your buyers. As I said, you want to sell fair. How about some advice I can give to you about not overpaying? Keep in mind, the RC you're looking at to get is not the first, it's not the last. It is just one in a line of many. Don't get too emotionally attached to anything. That is kind of an issue that I have sometimes. There are RCs that I really have grown to like. Now for me, that is the HPI Nitro MT or recently the Traxxas Jado. One of the RCs I do plan on selling from my fleet, and I really haven't done any videos on this at all because I don't particularly like this type of style, which is short course. This is the HPI Blitz. Actually a really, really good RC. Let me remove the body right over here. You could see it's really well equipped. This runs a 9.5 turn censored motor, Castle Mamba Pro ESC. The battery I'm probably going to remove, but that's not the point. It has a good amount of tasteful aluminum upgrades, and the RC itself generally is just clean. In my opinion, something like this should sell for in the high 100s. Now, I'll be honest with you, I paid a lot less than that. I'm not going to disclose this right now because you know what? That might not be really that fair to a future buyer of this, but this is a very cool RC. One of my favorite things about the HPI in general, guys, are the shocks. The shocks are just so smooth, you know, really just so planted. You really don't get the same shock and suspension feel on Traxxas, or I gotta say any other RC today. That is one of the reasons that I really prefer these older vintage HPI systems. They're just so nice, they handle well, and they're not that heavy, I gotta be honest with you. Another thing, if you wanna buy cheap, get ready to accept damage on the body. This is not the best looking body, but guess what? This is after a lot of repairs. You see this drywall tape and hot glue over here? Yes, I actually repaired it, so a lot of times the body itself will severely decrease the value of the car because appearance, guys. Now, to me, appearance really is not that big of a deal. If you can sacrifice appearance, which is what I did right over here, you could honestly see a whole bunch of weirdness going on here. But hey, that really doesn't matter. If you don't mind appearance so much, because guess what? You're probably going to bash these things anyway. They're going to be dirty all the time anyway. You know, let's face it. For me, the body is really just protection. Not that big of a deal. You could get a bargain on something that looks like it was relatively bashed, you know, I would say fairly well, just from the body alone. Alright guys, we made it to the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. I'm wearing a white shirt. That means only one of two things. Either I'm going to be doing an unboxing or on my way to buy a vintage Nitro RC car. What do you think it's gonna be? If you want to see me make that buy, put it in the comments below. I'll make sure to record that trip. And for now, enjoy some great footage between this e-Revo, my own personal Traxxas Jado 3.3, and a 1/8 scale Mugen buggy running a .32 non-pulse start engine. Who's gonna take the prize?